Mick, you've had 3 wins from 4 in the first 4 games of the year, unbeaten still. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, we prefer to have 4 wins from 4, but we got Pike back yesterday late on. It was a bit of a sloppy goal from our point of view, but look, it's a better start than last year, and we were probably out of the league nearly at this stage last year. So I always think with the league, it's just about staying in and until Christmas, and then putting your life on hold then until May, until you win it, but just stay in the race.
Yeah. You have much of the same squad from last year, but you brought in Conor Kavanagh. What do you think he can bring to you this year?
Yeah, he's good experience. He's been here before, he's won things here before. Probably lost his way a little bit over the last year. He was away in Australia for a while. Then last year lost his way. So it's gonna take him a little bit of time to get used to the way we do things up here. But he's been fantastic. He got himself in better condition over the summer. Really worked hard on his own fitness, and look, he has probably the best quality in midfield in the division. Once we can get him up to speed physically, you know what I mean.
Yeah. On the other hand, you did lose Dara Carroll late to your main rivals Janesborough, which must have disappointed you slightly.
Not really, you know what I mean. You just move on. That's football. You get some, you lose some. He wasn't prepared to. He didn't think he was going to get in the team, so he wasn't prepared to stick around. And that's, people view that. They don't have the ambition to try and stay and fight. That's fine.
Yeah, although I see Wayne Colbert has made a comeback after an injury last year. How is he been getting on?
Yeah, he's waiting on an operation, so he's really got to see how that goes. That could be another month away, and it's another 6 weeks after that then to, so it's difficult to see him playing any part before Christmas, you know what I mean? So, but look, we knew that it was going to be a bit of a long, he got that in the FAI final last year, and so he's been doing this prehab before the operation, and we hopefully can get that done in the next 4 or 5 weeks, and look, we'll see then. He's getting on, Wayne. Unfortunately, he's a lot of knee injuries, so he'll have to look at it himself as well, like whether he, there's a life after football too. You don't want to be too risky with injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah, the games are coming thick and fast at the moment. As you know, in Limerick it's 2 weeks at least at this time of year. You have regional in Doyle, which is a tough game. Regional were up there in the top 3 at the whole season last year. What do you expect from regional on Thursday night?
Yeah, I suppose they drew with Fairview last week, and I think they were beaten yesterday. So obviously even at this early stage, with us coming to town, they're probably going to have to win that game. So it puts a little bit of pressure on them. They made a lot of signings during the summer. Sometimes that takes a little bit of time to gel. Look, I haven't seen them, so it's difficult for me to say, but 4 games gone, and you can't be dropping too many points in this round of games,
Yeah, last year you mentioned earlier on that the club had a poor enough start to the season. You won the Munster Junior Cup last year, which was super. We got to an FAI final, and in the end, you were second to Janesborough. But what is the main priority, the league this year, or is it to propel again in the national cups?
Look, the main priority is the next game. That's the way I do it. Some managers go for blocks of 5, and this is what we want out of that, or we can't. I don't do that. We prepare for each game as it comes. That's why I don't particularly like this time of the season. I've said it to you before, actually, in the lead up to the FAI final. You don't get a time to work on things. You get sloppy goals against you then, and I felt that we haven't been as solid defensively. We're a little bit more probably open and more possession based and attack based with the technical players that we have now. So probably teams in the past that I've had up here have been more defensively sound. But we want to play a more expansive game now, and that just leaves you a little bit more open at the back to conceding goals. I don't particularly like doing it, but it's a decision we've made that we feel that's the way. Myself and Brian O'Callaghan feel that's the way that when you do get into the deeper water of the big competitions, that you have to be able to keep the ball. You have to be able to play possession. You you're playing a lot of Astro pitches now and stuff like that, so most of the pitches are good, so you have to have a good technical side. And unfortunately that leads to maybe leaving yourself a little bit open to goals at the back.
Yeah, you mentioned the big competitions there. Recently enough, you had UCD, who are runaway first division leaders in the FAI Cup away, and you were right in the game up until the last few minutes. You must have been pleased by the performance at least.
Yeah. Look, and that's what we're talking about. Like when we go against, the last time I played that competition, we were beaten 8-0. So I wasn't going to let that happen again. And UCD are a very, very good side. We went up there, and they only scored the second goal, the former goal. But look, being completely honest, we never really threatened the goal. We went 3-5-2 at the end there with 10 minutes to go, and took them 2 or 3 minutes to work it out. We had a few corners, but we didn't get in behind them. 3.5 weeks into pre-season, we'd only won pre-season friendly. That competition now has really been put out of sight for junior and teams, Mind you, they got a bit of a scare on Friday night. CIE Lads were 2-0 up, and they only won in extra time.
You were involved yourself in the Limerick FC setup a few years ago. UCD are the runaway leaders in the first division. Now it looks like Limerick are going to be in the playoff from what we've seen and from the evidence. Do you think, from what you've seen of Limerick and teams maybe a tiny bit below UCD, it's going to be a tough encounter for Limerick and any of the first division clubs, isn't it, with Shelbourne and Drogheda?
Yeah. I've seen a few of the teams in the first division, and funny enough, I was at the Limerick Cabinteely game on Friday night, and from what I've seen of Limerick on Friday night, I was surprised. I felt they were very good in parts of the game. You know what I mean? I think they managed the game really well. There was a period of about 20 minutes when I think they might have changed things slightly at half time. I don't know, but they really bossed the game, and they got on the ball and higher up the pitch. And your man Barry Maguire, he had real influence on the game there for about 20-25 minutes. Very clever player, picked up really good positions for second balls and things like that, and they really had too much for Cabinteely. So that augurs well for, and I think from past experiences as well, Limerick FC will be well aware that, it is something that you can, you can get caught on before they were caught up with Finn
Back to the junior scene, I suppose, we had Pat Sheehan was saying about it was a disappointing weekend for the Premier in Limerick soccer in terms of there was one walkover given, there was one abandonment early in the second period, I believe. There was also one thrashing handed out as well. What do you think is causing this problem at the moment? I know without putting it too much, people are saying it's because there's money involved and clubs like yourself are at the brunt of those frustrations. So what would you have to say to that?
Well, look, other clubs are none of my business, not to put it, my job is up here in Pike, but, look, I think everything nowadays, you guys in the media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, everything's a crisis, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure in the 80s, the 90s and the 90s, when Fairview and other teams were winning FAIs, they got all the good players, and there was 6-1 defeats been handed out to whoever the teams are at the moment. I'm sure there was bashing for plenty of teams. All the good players always migrate to the better teams where they have a chance of winning the competitions and winning the trophies. That's just the nature of the beast, Same any professional sport is the same. All the winners, the Man Cities, the Real Madrids, American football, whatever it is, it's all the clubs that are run the best. That's where the players want to go,
Yeah, you were saying here you have a super setup here at the moment. You've got the gym inside, you've got an AstroTurf, you've got a pitch. Everything is geared towards being successful on all fronts for you this year.
Yeah, look, that's, like I said last year, that's why I came back here. I feel that it's the club that has the most stuff to fit what I want from my players. What I see, what my vision and what the staff's vision is of a team. You look after, it's quite simple, you look after yourself away from the pitch as best you can. We'll look after the technical, tactical stuff here when we come here and during the week and on the weekends. It's not always going to work, and everyone's going to have a go when it doesn't work, that we're this, that and the other, and we're, whatever. But, if doing things properly and asking people to do things properly is a crime, I'm guilty.